and welcome to the Darkened Hour. This is your host, Joshua X. Snowhart, and with me is the magnificent, wonderful, extravagant people that I will always love to spend my Sunday evenings with. And they are...
I was going to follow up on your lovely evenings after what you were talking about before the show. your magical techniques on how to use that neck. But yeah, it's me, Aesop the Alchemist.
Tia LaBeouf.
All right. Cool. Wow. Okay. So after Comic-Con, man, everything has died the hell down. It's
Agreed.
been dead. We have a little things here and there, you know, but it's essentially dead because that's pretty much that's it's at the end of the year. We know what's coming out, you know, the Star Wars, the Justice Leagues, the Gaming Planet. What up? Hey, what's up, the Gaming Planet?
Thanks for
How
checking
you doing?
in.
Yeah, thank you for seeing us, supporting us. Thank you. How you guys? How are you doing?
The Gaming Planet's a hero.
It's a hero.
Yeah.
Huh.
He's a hero.
He's a hero.
We support villains here.
Oh,
Oh my! So that's we're like the Legion of Doom type of
Pretty much
thing. That's
Legion
what we're
of Doom
doing.
right here.
All right. Well, hey,
But
thank
what's
you.
good, Gaming Planet, though?
Yeah. What's up? Well, thank you for watching our stream. We talk about comic books and movies and everything in between. We geek culture. That's what we do. That's what we talk about. But yeah, so after Comic-Con, everything has died down. We know what's coming out. The Justice Leagues, the Avengers, the Thors, the Star Wars. That Star Wars trailer was crazy. It's crazy. Yeah,
Yo.
right? And I'm telling you, Mr. Kylo Ren is going to be a good guy by the end of the third
that
movie.
would suck.
He is.
Please don't.
We know Leia's gonna die because in the trailer he's about to shoot her down. That's a thing.
Oh,
So,
right.
but yeah, Star Wars, cool guys. But at the beginning
New
of every
Mutants, though.
what?
New Mutants.
Oh, hi, Brian. What's up?
You know, thank you, Brian. Thank you for bringing that up. What's going on, man? No, you don't like it.
Oh, you don't want to see it?
It's interesting because today's theme is very akin to the New Mutants because the New Mutants theme is they're more towards the horror side. We're seeing Marvel take on a brand new genre here.
Yeah.
And our theme today is Friday the 13th / horror movies. You know, what makes horror, if you will. They could both come together. What can come together exactly?
New Mutants and who?
Oh, Kylo and Ren. Oh, that's what
Kylo?
that's what he was talking about. Oh, okay, I see. He was talking about the Kylo Ren and
Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, that's gonna happen. I mean, in the trailer, we see her extend the hand to him.
I don't know. I don't know. I want one more movie of him just wrecking house. Like, I don't want him to be redeemed too quickly.
He's gonna wreck house this movie. He has to wreck out. He has to let all that out in his system,
Yeah.
kill his mom, go crazy, and then when he meets Mr. Luke, you know, and show him
Right.
how broken he is in every which possible way, and say, hey, your entire life is a lie, and then you see Krylo's life just turns opposite.
Yes, and let's continue to call him Krylo because that's what he is.
Absolutely, he's the
cry
Sasuke. He's the
baby.
redeeming Sasuke. That's what he is right now. You know, so this is the Star Wars formula that's gonna be. This is the Darth Vader that's gonna happen before he's getting thrown down. He's thrown down.
Yeah.
You know, so it's so predictable, but it works. You know, and we get to see Snoke. So that's
right.
a thing
That
too.
cloose up of him was like, yeah, he looked like a chewed up piece of gum.
He's Jar Jar.
I'm officially gonna get into Star Trek though.
Yeah, you
I've
should.
been seeing all the DVDs laid out on the front of the counter and stuff because I've seen every movie but I never paid attention to them. So I'm gonna.
This guy, right, for the longest has been calling Star Wars Star Trek. He's gonna get the DVDs and he's gonna get Stargate SG-1. That's what he's gonna get. The DVDs he's gonna get. I'm telling you.
For real.
For real. All right, so guys, we have a topic, but before we go into topics, I want to do what I normally always do: is how was your week? I mean, we are human beings here.
I'm recovering from Comic-Con fatigue.
Ooh.
I was dressed up every day, and I was a celebrity on Sunday where I was fully in the full steampunk villain gear, and I stepped next to a wall, and I couldn't move from that wall for a half an hour.
Photos.
Snap.
Yeah.
Photo shoots, yep. And it wasn't like, hey, take a picture of me. I was minding my business, and people walk by. Hey, can I take a picture of you? Okay, can I
Sure.
take a picture of her? Okay, now I'll take a picture of you two together.
Oh, Right. Now, I kind of caught you. They caught you at the end of that or the beginning of that?
That was it, because I spend Sundays in Comic-Con outside. Like, I go to the cosplay area anyway on Sundays, because that's where you see, like, that's where you get the best. Like, I saw Roman Reigns. That was really good. I saw a good Kevin Owens. He had the title on his shoulder and stuff. Like, I saw.
He had the
belt. No, he looked exactly like Kevin Owens.
Yes.
I mean, he was actually heavy set, so it wasn't hard for him. He had the beat. Like, he looked exactly like Kevin Owens.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I was seeing, like, some really good costumes. I got, like, a whole collection. I got to post these things. I'm posting them. Whole photo shoot of, like, Game of Thrones characters individually. Ooh. I have a guy who looked exactly like Peter Baelish. Like, I've seen really good stuff. So college exams is killing you this week. Well, hey, we're all getting killed some way or another, because I got to catch up on artwork after Comic-Con. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. After doing Comic-Con, I got to catch up on my artwork. We got exams going on there, because, you know, it's going to be that heavy college storm before the Thanksgiving break and stuff. So everybody's going to be feeling the heat. It's not
midterms. It's like the
quarter
of it.
No.
First quarter, I believe.
Yeah, first quarter.
It's been a while. I graduated a few years ago.
Yeah, I know college is a little different than, you know, I know grammar high school is like, this is, you know, November's like the month that pretty much everyone has like the entire month off pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now college is a little different because, you know, of course the semesters and stuff like that.
Because he's probably preparing for, because it was like he's exams killing this week. So I guess because I know Brian you were an NJIT, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think he might. Yeah,
I remember, he told me where he went. So his exams are going to be intense. I'm not a math person.
Listen,
I suck
good
at
luck. Good luck. Have some comic books on the side, so you need to,
if you need to like take a break,
read some comics, man. Mm-hmm. Just
laugh
relax.
at us with our rants.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. Power Godspeed to you, because I know how college exams are. Let me tell you, we all been there before.
Triggered.
Yeah, let me tell you, we feel you there, bro. How about you? Because I know you were stopped a couple of times as you were, Belcher, right?
Yeah, no, it was Tina Belcher last week. It was a lot of fun. It was a new kind of experience for me. Like, I'm like, you're stopping
10 minutes
me?
a thing. Yeah, it's fun after a while, though.
Yeah, it's
because then you try to outdo yourself the next year.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, let's step it up a notch. Let's take it up. I chose only Tina Belcher because it was easy for me.
Yeah,
I don't like taking off my glasses for nothing.
Right.
Like, I gotta see. Like, I don't got no context.
I can see.
Everything has to work around these glasses. I am not gonna like try to fake the funk and walk around.
Your entire life is in these windshields,
for
bro.
real. I was like, okay, Tina has glasses.
Yeah,
I have glasses. This can work. Like, that's literally that was literally my.
So here's what you'll do. You will, because you'll do a hybrid next year. What I plan to do next year, since I have the Red Lantern ring, I was going to be a Red Lantern Sith Lord.
Ooh, I like that.
So I was gonna get the whole thing made where I had like the red. So instead of the usual Empire symbol with the sun, I was actually gonna change the sun into the Red Lantern symbol with the star straight dot on it. I'm gonna custom make it myself, and then I just gotta give me a lightsaber. But then I'll fully make it out. Yeah, so I know Star Trek as much more than you guys realize. But yeah, so I'm a Sith Lord, a Red Lantern. I'll be a hybrid next year. So maybe you can like Batman Tina up or something, or Batgirl or something.
Wow,
I can come in as a Pootie Tang and Snoop Dogg hybrid. I just talk to you for a little bit.
Can we talk about your fusions real quick? Hold on. Oh, Brian, check this out. So we're gonna make Josh. He's gonna be Uncle Scar with a little bit of Pootie Tang.
Oh my goodness.
And he's gonna wear some Saiyan armor and some Wolverine claws.
Oh wait, that's too much with a bat cowl. No, that's way too much.
No. You don't need to bat cowl anything. You just put the bat symbol where the Saiyan symbol would be.
Oh, that's upsetting. Okay, that's cool.
Goodness.
Well, enough of lollygagging here. We have a couple of topics that we want to fun topics at that. Like I said, a theme is Friday the 13th. What makes a horror movie or the horror genre horror?
It's just
No,
enough.
no,
Yeah,
it's
exactly. It's not too much. It's just enough.
It's just enough. Oh my goodness. All right, don't encourage this kind of behavior.
4 angry dudes and then Pootie Tang. Perfect fusion for you.
With the belt. Can you give a belt to 4 angry dudes combined in one body?
Yeah,
That's not good.
Tail was used as a belt, so why not?
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, like I said, let me ask you guys this question: what makes a because this is the month of October. Just about every single day is Halloween.
Pretty much,
AMC, Sci-Fi are gonna go crazy with the Halloween movies and back and forth. And the latest, the latest good horror movie that came out was It.
Yeah, and it was in the summer. Go figure.
In the summer. And even within 2 just came out. Dropped like a couple of days ago.
Like a few days ago, yeah.
Right,
it's pretty solid.
Good game, by the way. I'm playing it great. Again, Halloween, October. This is what it is. So let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys think? What makes a good horror?
So when it comes to what makes a good horror movie,
yeah,
it's definitely more of a personal thing because some people are scared about other things. Yeah. Prime example: some people found it gory, even though there was only like maybe 2 blood scenes.
Right.
They found that gory. I don't see that gory at all. There are people who were literally jump scared and freaking out in the theater. I cracked up. I was laughing, especially with the headless kid with the egg, with the fiery eggs where he's chasing the fish.
I was cracking up too.
I was in tears laughing, So it's like, so when it comes to like what makes a horror movie, it really comes down to like what a person is truly like scared by, or what they would like. What's a good setting? Or are we talking like general? What's a good horror movie for everyone to enjoy, or what generally is more personal to you as a horror movie? I'm actually asking that question. What do you?
Okay.
Can you specify that question?
Well, okay. So for example, take me for example. Okay. Universally speaking, now I would like to answer that question personally, but as a filmmaker, if you will, there's a formula to do all this. There's a formula all across the boards. The omission of lights, the flickering of the lights, the creatures more than 2 legs, mind you. Anything with more than 2 legs scares the hell out of people. Things with more
evil within,
right? And spiders, and then centipedes. Also, more than one sets of teeth, glowing in the dark, eyes glowing in the dark, and then take the unusual or take the usual, make it unusual, like clowns, kids. That scare the hell out of people. These are the universal formulas that people use all across the board. So now, if you ask me, I have my personal things, but my personal things have been derivative and I guess symbiotically attached to those things that I grew up with. So I mean, and then of course jump scares are not really a big thing anymore. So
Jeepers Creepers though. What is your opinion on Jeepers Creepers?
I haven't seen the latest movie. But I remember seeing the first part is the most scariest one compared to 1 and 2. Because 2 is just more like we know what the Jeeper is about, or the Creeper is about, the Creeper. Part 1, there was a sense of mystery. And people are afraid of the things that they do not understand. And that has always been the truth. The same thing with things in the dark. People are not afraid of the dark. People are afraid of what lurks in the dark that you don't know anything about. So Jeepers Creepers, kind of a movie I think Jeepers Creepers is extremely, like, it scares the hell out of me. It really does. And
then he has his own happy theme song at that.
Jeepers
which makes
Creepers, where'd you get those peepers?
And that's what makes it such a contrast, because it's a happy theme song for something so terrifying, so it throws your mindset off completely. That's what makes like a character like Pennywise essentially effective, because he's a dancing, smiling clown, but then you look behind that persona, you're truly like the scene that you specified when he's drooling at Georgie. It's like he's truly hungry. Like a normal person, when you're drooling, you feel uncomfortable, so you wipe it off. The fact that he drooled and
it's unusual. Normally a guy would just wipe that off,
he'll
wipe it off, but no. The fact that he left it there, it just shows that he's not a part of the world. He doesn't do things that you normally would expect a regular person would do. And also, don't touch on the whole Jeepers Creepers thing. This guy can drive, okay?
Yeah.
This guy can drive. He can fly, and he can drive. Excuse me, no thank you very much.
That goes back to my whole Michael Myers versus Jason thing.
The number one thing that I've noticed all across the board people are afraid of is taking the normal and making it unnormal. That is the number one thing people are afraid of. Look at dolls. Would you like to be in a room full of dolls? No, thank you. Absolutely not.
Porcelain dolls are terrifying in general.
Right.
The ever staring, non-blinking. This goes back to my fear of fish. And we're not talking about we're not talking about Sharknado, so don't even segue into that. But
wait, fish? So, do you like fish with human teeth?
That's even more terrifying. It's even worse. It's like horrifying. No. Like, oh my god, it's like the fact that they don't blink, I think, is what really gets me.
That's interesting.
That's why I'm afraid of fish more so, because they don't blink. They have no souls. They just stare endlessly, and it reminds me of those damn dolls. They just stare endlessly, and the dolls.
They have
alive.
no souls, right?
Yeah, they have no souls. They're just dolls. So it's fine, but it's like these fish are alive, and they still.
Look fish. Fish have no souls.
Oh yeah, they have no souls.
Yeah, there is good. Yeah, anything that they have no souls.
They don't.
Also,
blink,
anybody who's listening in, what is your take on this? What do you think makes a horror movie horror?
I'd like to answer it, being that I'm here.
No.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth.
Coming back. I just want to make sure that those who are listening, they can also type in and whatnot. But yeah,
I'm gonna talk in terms of trends when it comes to horror film. What was the standard, like a Nosferatu? of the 19th century versus the creature features of the 80s to the 90s, where you had Freddy Krueger, Hellraiser, Jason, Michael Myers, all of these, Ghostface.
And it's funny, you named like 4 or 5 different genres of horror right then and there.
And they have a certain trend because they involve a fear of an external monster, the boogeyman. And then you go into the 21st century with like Saw, Hostel, where the monster is us. You know, it's us inflicting harm on each other. And what makes a horror film successful is tap into the fear that already has existed already, right? We talk about Pennywise. Clowns are a big, big fear. And the creation of Pennywise exacerbated that fear. Clowns did not exist in that format and whatnot. So what it does, attach to the fear already there. So with that being said, what makes a horror film solid is that every horror film that's been fantastic, every reviews has great social commentary, using zombies as a stand-in for disease, or using, you know what I mean, or like cabin fever, the fear of being literally out of nowhere, not knowing
something beyond our control.
Exactly, whether it's disease, whether it's torture, whether it's all these things that occur in life, and with under the guise of a monster. So, jump scares are cheap,
extremely cheap.
They're incredibly cheap. You know what I mean? Someone did a really good comparison, like to a jump scare that was successful, that didn't rely on sound. That's a dead giveaway. Do all that extraness when a person jumps out and all the sound is really cheap. A legitimate jump scare, like they did like I think it was Halloween, where it was like the guy literally walked up behind you, no sound. You were not prepared for it.
Oh yeah.
That's a successful jump scare.
Facts, B.
There you go.
So that's what makes horror fantastic. And thinking about horror as a genre and all these other subgenres that exist within it, is that they're always like these fringe kind of genre. They don't win awards, you know, they don't win Emmys, they don't win Oscars, not even for effects. No, these things wouldn't have happened. Like it's just almost like it's a very strange genre that's existed for so long. And I think when I watched Alien, right, the new one, which was legitimately scary,
not Prometheus, but the
most current Covenant,
one,
I actually sat and watched it, and it's I think it's a solid, you know, it's a solid film, and I think it relied on the creature feature.
Well, let me ask you a question. Was that a horror film? You consider that a horror film?
I consider sci-fi horror,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But it's hearkening to the days of the creature feature. We're bringing back, you know, the Freddys of the time.
Yeah.
Nostalgia to the power up to the max, to turn the volume on it. So we're moving past these suspense films everyone hates, Ouija board, and all these really bad high concept films that are making a lot of money on an incredibly low budget. They're spending like $3 million and racking in like $100 million. They're so bad, but people keep coming out to them because they think this is what horror is.
Right.
They've been misled that jump scares and all that kind of really cheapo stuff is horror.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that to make a good horror movie, because I know we already passed the phase of gore.
Sure.
Remember in the times where everything was gore, the Hostels, the Saws, Serbian film, all this stuff, you know, right? It was the gore fest at one point. Way back when you know, whenever a movie came out, the game came out right after that. We've been through that phase.
Yes.
Now we see a break on all that.
A resurgence.
And now we're a jump scare type of phase, if you will. Now, do you think that if we were to inject, what I think was what's been lost is suspense. Suspense, because that's what James, I think it was named James
Tension.
Wan, the director, or the used to be director of Aquaman. That's what he does in his Conjuring film.
Sure.
Is the suspense right here.
Yep. He mentioned
Paranormal Activity. Yep. A Conjuring series. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a legitimate trend.
Right, and it's the suspense. It's the fact of expecting something that you normally would expect, but it never delivers, and it's like a kind of a teasing back and forth type of thing. And then when you really don't expect it, they deliver without a jump scare. Right. Now mind you, we separated the suspense factor into actual movies, suspenseful movies. You know. Now, do you think because of that we've taken out the suspense in horror movies because we've given it suspense as a genre on itself? Like these action movies and, you know, everything else. Whereas in reality, horror has by core is suspenseful. When you stare into the darkness, it's suspense. It's not. The fear comes through suspense of expecting something that you wouldn't normally expect.
I think we're a culture of instant gratification. And suspense
jump scares
is like, we're instant gratification. We want all of the gore and all of the stuff right now. Yeah. Suspense is about building tension.
Yeah, exactly.
It's atmosphere.
Yep.
If you don't, and that's the heart of it all. All the greats build that atmosphere and tension. between the protagonist, who you legitimately have to feel bad for. Because
Right.
a lot of these horror movies now, the people are just stereotypically dumb. Like, they do these things, trip over twigs, you know, they walk into the house and they probably shouldn't have. You know what I mean? They're defenseless half the time. You don't care about their development, and it says nothing about who they are. They're just these stand-ins to get killed and tossed away.
You can literally name them by the stereotype that they portray.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Brian, with the horror movies trending now to like the camera haunting.
Kind of like Paranormal Activity. Basically, it's first person view.
Oh yeah, okay, right.
Blair Witch Project
Yeah.
stuff.
Which
I respect.
understand. Yeah,
I respect.
I get that. It's just that like
It's overdone.
It's overdone where the point was like it's no longer believable because they have to one up the previous film every time, and it's like just the idea that someone records every event in their life is already hard to digest. You know, you have to suspend some disbelief in some of these movies, and it's like now with all the one up, it's just like this is just unrealistic. Hence the last one we watched, with Toby or whatever.
Yep.
We cracked jokes the whole movie.
Right.
So it's like it's like I get where they come in with the first person view because nothing's scarier than you experiencing something yourself because you're always your mind is always your own biggest fear.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where I come in. What makes it horror. I guess I'll go into what I see as a good horror film is something that takes, like you said, something that's just normal and then it's abnormalized.
Yep.
And it's abnormalized through how you perceive it because perception is through your own eyes. Everyone perceives things differently. When you can mess with a person's personal perception and force them to see something else, hence, we perceive color in a specific way. But your red might be different from my red.
Yeah.
But if you're a director, you create a film where we're seeing horror, your horror is different from my horror, and then you put down those colorblind glasses where we see the exact same thing, you created a very good horror movie. And now pay homage to something like the movie Mirrors. It didn't get a lot of credit, but I love that movie.
Extremely underrated movie. By
the way. Very underrated movie because I went home and I was afraid of my own damn reflection.
Yeah.
That's how it hit you cycle because there was the M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end where he got trapped in the mirror at the end. But it was just the general idea that it was unrealistic with the whole someone's soul is trapped in the mirror because that goes back to like cultural beliefs.
Which, mind you, that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
You see it through Constantine. You see it through a lot of the actual
thing.
thing. Yeah, you can trap things in mirrors. It's like the window
to another realm.
That makes okay. Yeah.
So it gets to the point where now, when I'm brushing my teeth, I have a hard time lowering my head. After I lower my head to spit out whatever I'm spitting out, I rise very slowly because even to this day, I'm so very scared to look back in the mirror, legit, and get my jaw ripped out or something. Or this one thing where I saw this little girl. She was looking at a mirror. She was like maybe like 3 years old, and her parents tapped her on the shoulder to give her something. And when she turned away to look at what she was getting, the reflection didn't turn away. The reflection looked up to see what she was getting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's freaky because that happened in the movie Oculus. That's another one.
There you go.
There's another movie. It's like I forget what the name I think it's called Shutter. It's about like a couple who goes to Japan and his ex-wife was a Japanese woman who he pretty much had her raped by his drunken friends and he recorded it because he was so addicted with taking pictures.
Wow.
And she committed suicide and then she ended up haunting him. Like throughout the whole film, there's all these like weird happenings. And then when you go back out to see everything that happened.
Yes, he loves it. Yes, yes.
Yeah, you go back and see everything that happens the whole time. It was her spirit that was involved. And it's one of those psychological things where it's like you didn't have to see US version or the Korean version. It was a US version I saw. You didn't have to see the ghost throughout the whole movie. It was just all these random things because you as a viewer, it's a ghost. But it's towards the end of the movie, like that rising point where like the whole time they were haunted, and then you start reflecting on real life where like you close the door and something drops in your room. Was that the wind, or is there is there your ex-wife haunting you? All
right, that's pretty that's pretty specific. Like, I wonder if it's my ex-wife. Like, it could be 1,000 motherfucking reasons.
But that's what I'm getting at is where it's like you take something so normal and abnormalize it, and that's why I find good horror. And that's why I refer to mirrors because I actually told one of our friends to do this. I was like, all right, take 3 mirrors and put one in front of you and the other 2 beside you.
Just that alone. It raises my eyebrow like that's creepy crap right there.
Yeah, just putting the 3 and just that alone creeps you out. That's why the movie Mirrors was so effective because like it made me truly afraid of mirrors. Yeah, but that ending was definitely solid though.
So, okay, do you have anything to add to it with?
Oh no.
Okay, cool.
No.
Now you named a couple of iconic slashers.
You need some like Justice League of Dooms.
For real. Pinhead, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Candyman.
Yeah,
I love Candyman.
right.
By the way, Candyman, sexiest voice ever, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
The soundtrack.
What else? Of course, you said Pennywise, Chucky, which people think is funny, but I'm sorry, when you see a little 4 feet thing of death running into you, you better run the other way.
He's
like,
getting
I'm sorry.
punted. I'm sorry. I'm not letting him
sorry.
stab me.
You're right.
He's not
You're
stabbing
right.
me.
You're right.
That's
you're right.
akin to getting attacked by a chihuahua with a knife. Kick that little
But but be
for
aware
real.
though. This is what people don't understand about the little 4-pin side of death here. He is small and he's a doll, but he's
hides.
retained all his strength as when he was.
Okay,
a
so he's like a
regular
grown
person.
man strength in a
Here-
tiny.
yeah, he does have.
Yes,
he has
yes.
some.
He can
grown man
spew you
strength,
the hell, my friend. I'm sorry.
But the thing is, he's still light on his feet. My thing is Chucky, because they kind of lost what made Chucky so good from the original Child's Play, where he was supposed to be a doll that surprise kills you. Hold on, what they're saying now?
they need to make a new wave of horrorful monsters.
That's
one horror movie that
very-
now, mind you, they started to do that because you have like the
Babadook.
Babadook.
Ooh,
Exactly.
took the words out my mouth,
Right.
yo.
You even okay now you have the Babadook. You have this other Sinister one. That's the Babadook, isn't it? No, that's not from that's not from the Sinister. It's a Sinister individual, and then you have the one from the Insidious, and then these different key I guess antagonists from these movies have become some sort of monster mash. Aside from the Dark Universe that they're trying to make, mind you, which I don't think that's ever going to kick off anymore.
Yeah.
But that's what they're trying to do little by little. Even the Nun, mind you, the Nun is a huge iconic thing now too. What you guys think of the new
Chucky
Chucky?
film.
I have yet to see the
I
new
have
Chucky film.
not.
Neither have I. I've grown out of the Chucky phase. To be fair,
You tell us.
You
If
tell
you've seen
us.
it,
Tell
Have
us
you
what
seen
it
it?
was
You tell us
like.
what it's
Should
like.
we watch it?
yeah, is it worth it? Out of the Batarangs, 1 to 10 ratings of 1 to 10 Batarangs, how many Batarangs do you give it, please? Let us know. I think the Annabelle for new horror movie monster.
Oh,
You think
Annabelle's
so?
a new. Yeah, I can see her doing that.
Little doll.
She's
The doll
become an
thing, yeah.
actual icon, whether the
she's
fact
legit iconic now.
the movie wasn't good or not, but she's still a thing, and especially in the Conjuring universe. But anyway, of the old school wonder icon, legendary people that you've named,
Justice League of Doom.
for real, that's just Justice League of Doom.
Yeah.
I know Rason has a distaste for Jason. I do too. Get me wrong, I do too.
I always thought he was boring.
Yeah, he's very boring.
I always thought he was boring.
Michael Myers has always been more.
To me, they're interchangeable.
And Michael Myers has always been more entertaining in a sense because I only believe because of the people around him made it more entertaining. They always had, they had more memorable people around. Like the guy, the detective, has always been around. Jason had no one except for his grandma who died in the second movie.
Mother, yeah.
Like not even, and then everyone else kept dying.
He gave it 7 out of 10.
Right.
The Chucky.
Oh,
That means acceptable.
Oh.
That's acceptable.
that's not bad. 6 out of 10 is all right. 7
Seven is
not
saying that
bad.
it's enjoyable at least.
Yeah.
Oh, then it must be worth watching. Then
Right,
I grew up a big fan of Chucky and Gremlins and
Now-
Leprechaun.
Is the voice the same? Is the
tiny,
actor
tiny.
voice the same? That's the big thing because
The voice
Chucky's
is super
voice had to
important.
be the same voice actor. To
Yeah.
hit
Such
the punch.
character.
Yeah.
Such character.
Freddy Krueger, the new Freddy Krueger movie.
I know who that
That was
is.
Rorschach, by the way. Rorschach.
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one. Not.
He
You
looked
need
like-
Robert Englund all the way through.
Melted plastic. It
Yeah.
was just bad.
So my favorite one out of them through has to be Pinhead. Always
Oh,
will
we know
be.
that. It's your
Always.
favorite.
What's your pleasure, sir? Like, come on.
What's your pleasure, sir?
That's my boy. So now, who's your favorite?
Who's yours? Because
Yeah.
I'm actually a Myers fan, believe it or not.
Yeah, Myers is amazing.
When it comes to that roster, which is like the dream team,
The dream team,
of
yep.
creature features, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
the dream team. I'm gonna say, I want to say Pinhead, and Pinhead affected me very early on. For some reason, I was watching these movies when I was like a kid, and I probably shouldn't have.
Oh, we all watched.
We
them.
all did.
We grew up with Hispanic parents. We don't.
They
or
don't
our black
care.
parents. We
Black
don't
parents,
care.
yeah,
We don't
care.
care.
Oh, you want to act up? Watch this for
Watch
a
this,
second.
yeah.
Oh, I have a really good story as
Freddy-
to.
we got a
oh,
Freddy
I got
fan.
a good. Oh,
I'm sorry,
fan.
Freddy Krueger. You wanted a good
Oh,
laugh?
both of you guys
Oh.
are Freddy fans. Oh, I mean, I love Freddy though. Freddy's my second
but for
favorite.
legitimate fear element,
For
Pinhead.
for fear element, I gotta go Myers only because nothing terrifies me than an unstoppable walker who can drive.
I understand, but see, my thing, I
The
think
unstoppable walker.
Pinhead was awesome,
He had such style.
but he had style.
Ooh.
Right, style.
Clean.
And he was so confident. Like it's just like I want to be killed by him. But Freddy though, Freddy will always scare me more than anyone else. Only because if there's a person who can kill you and laugh at the exact same time, That is horrifying.
He humiliates you.
Right, and then, and he kills you in the most creative ways. This is a dream. Oh, you like this? Hold my beer for a second. You like motorcycles? Well, guess what? You become one with your motorcycle. You like to eat? I'm gonna shove this all the entire refrigerator in your mouth.
Like he taps into who you are as a individual.
Hey, Johnny Depp, you like listening to music? Hold my beer for a second. Swallow you in your old bed.
Blenderize.
Like,
oh, you like Kingdom Hearts? I'm gonna take 20 years to kill you.
Yo, you're gonna trip every part of the way.
Yo, hold on. That hurt me. That hit my heart. You like Kingdom Hearts? Yeah. 20 years. 30 years.
You're gonna be like Kakashi on a crucifix with Itachi stabbing you one by one for 20 years until you're dead. With keyblades.
Even though Pinhead affected me, there was an earlier film that I shouldn't have watched.
Okay.
It was called Clown House. It was a cheesy 80s slasher film that came a little bit before it became like it was. So my dad had a fear of clowns way growing up, right? It was a clown that came on Ed Sullivan's show back in the 60s, and he did not like him. He had a stupid little hat on his head. He had a gross white face. My dad was not a fan. He really had nightmares the same night. He's just like, okay. And then he grew up. He tried to act like just phase it out, whatever. And he legitimately still had that fear in him. So my mom said, "Oh yeah, they're gonna watch just a Clown House movie. Do you think it's okay for them to watch?" That's like, sure, it's fine. Like he's just like he's trying to like not act like he's not afraid. Still afraid of clowns as a grown man. So he's like, yeah, it'll be fine. He's like, oh no. He's like, let's go watch the movie. So I sit there and I watch with my siblings, horrified. If you really Google what this clown looks like in Clown House, you understand it's a thing of nightmares.
Clown House.
Okay. And I think it's the same director who worked on Jeepers Creepers. This is one of his early trying to get his name out there type of thing.
Also a little nitpick. He's also been convicted from sexual assault.
This makes it even darker.
God.
So I know it was really weird. So I watched it and it's kind of stuck with me, right? Yeah. So I myself, I was like, I'm not afraid of clowns. I don't care about the clowns, whatever. So Pennywise remakes happen, and things start coming back. I remember you showed me. We talked about Reboot one time, and Hexadecimal came back in my brain.
Baby Lucifer,
and I was like, I oppressed that memory, and it came flooding right
she
back.
She was horrifying.
Hexadecimal is so
gave
scary.
me a heart attack.
Sexy as hell, by the way, but she is definitely terrifying,
bro. See,
it's
Brian,
like a generational fear of clowns.
Yeah, seriously.
Brian, Hellraiser is a scary movie, even without jump
scares.
But see, Hellraiser barely had any, because at that time jump scares weren't that abundant. What made us scared was the fact is the visual. It was far ahead of its time, by the way.
Yeah.
And the visuals, and as time went on, it got even more. He was the biggest blasphemer in the entire I guess slashers in that time.
Yeah.
And then Ghost Ship, amazing. That first scene with that trip wire.
I remember that scene. That was
one of the best things I've ever seen.
So Gaming Planet just said something that I've also I think we talk about the Japanese, because we talk about the auditory, how they use like the key subtle elements, just ambience, no music, just ambience. It's all you need, just natural sounds that mess with the ear, and they kind of get into the ear, and they just start to affect you, and it's things that tend to even happen even outside the movie, like I said, with the whole fish thing in the eyes and the mirrors. It's like things that actually stick to you because they're normal and they're abnormalized in these films.
Like, take a hot dog and make it scary. Everyone is gonna be afraid of that. Trust me. No, it's as funny as it sounds. It can happen. Someone took a tire and made a movie that can just blow up heads. It happened and it made bank. It's called Rubber, guys. If you look that up.
It was on Netflix.
Yes.
I scrolled right past. Me and Mix looked at each other. We're like, nah, we're watching something else. We're not doing this. Like, dead for real.
Yeah.
But
man.
then, all right. Since we're talking about horror movies, and I keep mentioning abnormalizing something generally normal.
Yeah, take something normal.
Some movies aren't necessarily meant to be horror. Sometimes they're just thrillers.
Right.
Here's a thriller movie that I can still consider horror, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. It's called The Orphan, where it's the woman who's disguised as a child.
Okay.
And she ends up falling in love with the adopted father who takes her in, and then she pretty much tries to do away with the whole family.
For real.
Like, I find that to be a sense of horror because it's just taking something. I guess that's another thing I'm afraid of, is like terrifying children. It's taking a child and making it an actual
like Children of the Corn.
Oh,
yes.
Classic. Children of the Corn is classic.
I guess that's one of the reasons why, because I laugh at Grudge, because I find it more funny than anything.
Yeah,
But the little kid who has the cat voice, always gets to me.
Yeah.
little meowing boy. You know what I'm talking about.
You don't see a boy meow every day in your life, so it's.
Oh, he's not meowing. He's doing a screeching thing.
He's like, I gotta watch it again.
Have you seen the match between the Ring and that? I guess the
Grudge woman.
Yeah, the most driest match I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh my gosh, like watching paint dry.
Kinda. And then they form together. They just fuse, and it's crazy.
And they turn into the
boring.
evil within spider lady.
The worst thing you can do is. We have questions.
She was an adult
in a kid body. Yeah, that's what made it
the
terrifying.
orphan. Yeah, because you really didn't see that coming. You saw it the first time.
There was another movie that was similar to The Orphan, because the first movie I saw was which made me watch The Orphan. As a matter of fact, it was called Case 86 or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like where there's actually a child who was like a demon in disguise, and anyone who adopted her, she pretty much like killed them. Because she was basically collecting souls. So she would like set the houses on fire and things like that. Yeah.
Evil. Have you seen? This is a question by the Gaming Planet. Evil Bong.
Evil.
I'm interested.
Is that like a stoner horror? What is that?
I mean, there's one called Metalgasm. So I mean, I'm interested too.
Another thing on Netflix.
Yeah, I know, right? I got to see
I scrolled right past.
Me too. But I want to see it.
No, we have to sit here and watch like these random horror
films.
Yes,
you don't know how many hidden gems are there.
Is this really a gem? Huh?
Is that your disbelief? Is this really a gem?
You never know until you try. Like, it's just, come on. No, but Evil Bong, I gotta check that out. Is it on Netflix? Please let me know.
Comedy horror is a genre.
Yeah, man.
It is totally, and that's the beauty of horror. Like there are so many flavors. I never get tired of horror. I've gotten tired of action films. I've gotten tired of certain comedies. Not everything's funny. You know what I mean? It's hard to make you laugh. Trust me. So horror is like one of those genres that just keeps getting better with age.
Idle Hands. You got so much props for that one. Idle Hands, The Uninvited, really good. Idle Hands, though, it's an instant classic, by the way. You know, so it's really good. If you guys haven't seen Idle Hands, please check it out.
I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out.
It's an instant classic. It's the guy who, I think the main protagonist is the guy who started in the first Final Destination movie, I believe it was. I can be wrong. Yeah. And the guy from Austin Powers, the son, is it Seth MacFarlane? Seth Green, right?
Seth Green, I think you're talking about Seth Green.
He's in there too. So you like Michael. Yeah. You like Pinhead. You know, I give respect to Freddy Krueger, and I love my Pinhead, of course. Now
least favorites.
I mean, Jason was just stale. Okay,
yeah,
that's the thing about Jason. I don't
necessarily hate Jason. I just can't stand when they compare Jason and Mike.
Two different individuals.
Trying to say like, and then like, oh, Jason's better. I'm like, by what means? Yeah, like he's locked at Crystal Lake.
At the end of the day, Jason is just a rotting zombie who just doesn't die.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Now, speaking of which, Freddy vs. Jason. I feel like this is one of the most underrated movies of all time. And I think it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I said the plot was simple. Yeah, sure, laughable at times, but it's a Freddy Krueger movie. It's gonna be laughable. I think it is an awesome movie for the 2003 that came out.
It is definitely entertaining. Yes, I will say that.
I enjoyed it.
It is something I've watched 3 times. That means I did enjoy it. It's ridiculous by all means, but it was definitely a good ride.
Oh yeah,
it was absolutely a good ride. Especially Jason X should drown in a fire.
Jason X never happened.
Oh, when he was in space.
When he was in space, yeah,
that was so weak.
Because all right. See, honestly, that was his You know how like in Game of Thrones they send in their audition videos? That was his audition video to join the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, I thought it was to join the Alien.
No.
Once you take a character from his familiar environment, try to take him somewhere else, it's a mess.
We need a horror film
fighting game.
No, I mean, I guess you can go over Mortal Kombat on that, can you? Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, because they always feature horror. Yeah.
I mean, Scorpion is a horror. I'm sorry, he's horror. Melina, by all means.
By all means, my wife.
Baraka, by all means. You know.
I mean, but think about it. NKX. Freddy Krueger is in it.
Yeah, Alien.
And then Predator. the latest one is Predator, Alien, Leatherface.
Yeah. Leatherface is another character right then and there.
Yeah.
You know what a horror figure that I used to be afraid of? I'm still trying to figure out why I was in the first place. I think when I was like 8 years old, I was afraid of like the Scream character.
Ghostface?
Ghostface. Legitimately scared. And I'll explain why. Because I'm trying to step to my childhood brain for a second. You know, I used to get right on this heavy.
Hold on. Some salt just was thrown here. Kitana for the win.
How about now?
What's your favorite flavor of bleach? I'll pour you a glass. How dare you throw that blasphemous?
You can get some Downy.
Ew,
You can get some
Kitana.
Clorox.
Ew, Kitana. Ew, take that hero nonsense elsewhere. I go for the evil characters. Melina is waifu and Jade is bae for life.
So okay, so
Back to your
Oh,
fear.
yeah, sure.
Ghostface.
Like it was Ghostface, and just something about the violence. It was something like that felt real. Like wow, I could be in my
something about
home
that
alone.
knife, you know, that knife.
I could be
you know?
home alone, and someone cut off my phone. Man, back in those days, there was landline phones and stuff like that.
That
You
was
know, the
scary.
thing. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. I could actually, that
Yeah.
could for real happen. So then that freaked me out. I just sleep at night, and for some reason, I don't know what it is about me. When I'm afraid of something, I surround myself with it.
Yeah, of course.
So what did I do? I bought the ghost face mask. I bought it. Like I said, I'm being that for Halloween because I'm trying to like just get over it.
Get
8
immune
years,
to
8
it,
years
yeah.
old. I'm trying to get over it.
Cool.
I'm trying,
You
like, this is
will never
stupid.
see me buy me a spider mask. You crazy. But yeah, continue. You
So
got
that
mad
was
points.
kind of that. That was me as a kid, and I was just like, I had to convince myself, like, okay, this is some dude in a mask. It's like I could fight him. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I can fight
could
this
throw
guy.
these hands.
I can throw
these
these
hands.
these adolescent hands at him, and everything. I'm gonna throw these 8-year-old hands at him. So I had to think like that. So in my mind, I would make myself like the protagonist of that story,
Yeah.
the one who survives. Right? I made myself Nev Campbell, and I'm gonna make it to the next sequel. You know what I mean? Everyone else is gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it.
Mind you, let me tell you something. See, you know why that was so scary in that time? Because it was the most relatable.
Yeah.
It was the most relatable.
He
You
was.
know.
He felt like there's serial killers everywhere. He just fit the mold.
Which one was the one in Scream where is that something girl is left the call nice?
Which part was that?
That was. Oh man, hold on. Let me see it again. I'm trying to there's 3 movies, by the way.
Yeah.
Which one was the one in Scream where he was outside with girl and his knife got caught in ice? I think that was when that was at a frat party, and there was like an actual ice sculpture or something like that, and he missed and stabbed the ice instead. That's how I'm remembering it. But the most memorable scene, Scream 4, like
didn't like.
I didn't know what happened.
There is a
I'm-
4th one. I saw it on Netflix. I didn't watch it. I just saw it.
Oh,
On
the
Netflix.
Netflix thing.
Th-
Okay.
I was like, oh,
I didn't know it was a thing.
They kept these up, eh?
Hey, right? Yeah, I moved on.
What is this, Land Before Time?
Now, mind you, as I was saying, it's extremely relatable.
Yeah.
And nowadays, there's been such a surplus of relatability, like the guy next door, the killer next door, relatable thrillers like that. That now with something that when something like that happens, it's just like, okay, whatever. Give me the supernatural stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, like you said, landlines. There was barely any cell phones back at the time, so
Right.
the only method of communication is that and a beeper.
Oh, you wanna call the cops?
Right,
Snip.
What you gonna do now, big dog? And the
That's
thing is
it.
that, and what
You don't
makes
know
us-
Morse code,
right? And the biggest thing is, what would happen? What would happen that if your own sanctuary was threatened by an
my home.
unknown face?
Like
and
when a
even,
stranger calls back.
Exactly, and even when you see this unknown figure, you don't know who he is because he's under a mask.
Right.
And that's all you see, and it's like you surround
like
yourself
scary
around. Yeah, you
movies?
like scary movies. And it was such a big hit that they even made a parody of it. Of course, scary movie.
Exactly.
It was hilarious. So,
Yeah, and I think I'm glad that came out because that definitely helped me get over it. Like I'm very glad they made fun of it. So I'll take myself way
that
too
just-
seriously.
Since we talking about that, made me think of a movie that's like a classic. When a Stranger Calls Back.
yeah.
Yeah, have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I have.
That is even to this day they still never found those kids. Like I think back at that movie, like they never found out what
was
he
screwed
did
up,
with those
screwed up.
kids. Like
Or even things like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
yeah,
Which one was
A
amazing
little-
too, which is like, okay, you should have
I
never
still know-
Stretching.
Yeah,
they
you're
stretched
stretching it, but
Reaching.
that was a
That
pretty
was still
good
pretty
movie
solid too, yeah.
So yeah, even like what's considered horror, like American Psycho falls on that.
It does
on that
fall into it,
spectrum.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's comedic, but it's horror. It's horrific.
and I've read the book and I've watched, and I actually prefer the film over the book, and that's rare for me. I actually enjoy books over all of that, but the movie itself served its purpose. Oh.
The Boogeyman movie and the Thing.
Oh,
movie.
The Thing.
I have
That's
yet
a
to
classic.
I haven't seen The Thing.
You want to talk about effects that have aged well?
I
The
haven't seen
Thing
it.
has aged so well.
Wait, the new prequel remake.
no,
of
the
it, right?
the original 1983 release.
83?
It's old.
Wait, I thought this came out like 1950s, like the
Oh.
original one.
I'm talking about Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so this is 1980s, right?
Yeah, it was the 80s, and it's still knocks, man.
Have you seen the new remake that came out like 2012? Was it all right? Was it good? Yeah, it was all right?
I didn't ask for this.
Oh, okay,
I didn't
okay,
ask
I
for
see.
this. It was unnecessary. It just
Gotcha.
it just made it a little prettier. The movie itself just still stands. Like that blood scene, the blood testing scene.
Yeah.
That still stands.
So
It's
you're saying
still
the original?
scary.
I should watch the original.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
it's a
good.
must watch.
I'll watch it
It's
tonight.
one of my favorites.
remake was the big. Yeah, it was the prequel, right? Yeah, yeah.
Right, and exactly. I didn't need this.
Yeah. Yes, VHS. Absolutely. VHS,
Oh,
crazy.
man.
ABC of Death. That's ABC of Death. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Watch those ABC of Death and then watch VHS right after. Amazing stuff. Like, there's just like different episodes within a self-contained movie. Amazing.
All
Different
right.
ways to die, by the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And the reason why things still bangs, like it's still scary, it's because there's never really a titular monster. It's a disease,
Right,
And
again,
it's a parasite. And
it's
it takes over
beyond
the
your
body.
control.
So everyone's just like, "Are you sick? You got it?" Like everyone's just like,
Cabin
it's like
fever
that
type
cabin
of
fever
thing.
thing.
Yep.
And things get bad, and the
28 days
monsters
later
are
type
legitimately
stuff.
good. They still look good, and that's something from the '80s that still looks that good.
Actually, now I want to watch this so bad.
There's one part I have to literally you have to
I
like
wa-
call me when you have it. I don't tell you
I'm
what
going to
it is.
watch it. Now, mind
you,
you,
you get some shade thrown in the chat there.
Oh,
Tia is afraid of clowns as I am.
who are you?
Who are you? Hi, thank you for joining us. By
Hey.
the way, now we threw shade earlier in the show
At who?
about first person, movies.
Yeah.
But I still got to give it to the Blair Witch Project because to this
The
day it's a
original.
really really good movie.
Yeah, that's still solid.
One of the first, and I remember watching recently, maybe 5-6 months ago, and it was still a good solid movie.
I haven't seen
What
Mama.
you guys think about Mama with Jennifer Lawrence, right? I read some
Mama,
reviews about it,
I haven't seen it.
and I don't know how I feel about it. Like,
The
I don't
Cell
know.
was another good one too.
Oh, Jennifer Lopez.
Yes.
Yes. The Cell hits
Amazing,
me
by
where
the
I
way.
live.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that
the
movie.
aesthetic still works.
amazing.
I will never
Amazing.
forget the small intestine roly thing.
Yes.
That's my favorite scene.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow!
Cause
I gotta watch that again.
so
I have to watch
creepy.
it
Okay,
again.
so bringing it back into
Reeling
a
it
full
in.
circle. Horror. What makes a good horror movie? Since we already gone through.
Oh,
Yeah, we've
okay.
gone through
Yes,
different
opinions.
genres. We've gone through different
Yeah, people are
movies.
just throwing things back at us. Now,
What
I
makes
still
a good
believe
movie?
suspense is a core element in the horror,
Yes.
which
Oh,
is, they're
sure.
just taking it away. You know what I'm saying? Please give us less jump scares, more suspense.
More suspense.
You know, and like you said, give us more the natural, unnatural.
Mhm.
By all means,
And it
So-
doesn't have to be supernatural to be
Yes,
effective. We
absolutely.
don't need monsters. We don't need ghosts. Sometimes a human who loses their mind.
It's like
is
what
enough
Tia
to-
said. We are what happens when us humans are the monsters.
And like you said, when
Walking
your own
Dead aesthetic,
sanctuary.
if you will.
Yeah.
Your sanctuary is
There you go.
threatened.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. So what do you guys think now?
So yeah,
I
What
think
ma-
a great horror film, not to cut you off, but it has to stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great horror film. You have to know years after it releases, it still trigger that kind of emotional response. You still feel for these characters. And to me, it's the victims that make this movie great. Because it's acting at this point, because you have to believe in their fear. So it's like almost going on a roller coaster.
It's
Making
and-
yourself scared on purpose.
I know you mentioned this really quickly.
Yeah.
And this is a huge thing in the film community whenever you make a movie, especially in horror. The suspension of disbelief.
disbelief. Yes, I did say that.
You know, if you're knocked out of that, when you're like, oh crap, I'm watching a movie,
Yeah.
it's over.
gone.
It's over.
You can't get
If
somebody
you
back.
can't
Get your
get
money
immersed
back.
into the
Get
movie,
your money back, by
if
the
you
way.
can't pull, it's like it was
Yep.
my problem. I told you that too about it. It was hard for me to get into it in the beginning because I didn't believe the stuttering.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
right,
The
It's
stuttering
going
was
on.
hard to believe, and I'm like, as the movie went on, I was like, okay, I can believe I'm in this movie.
What
I'm
a small
invested.
thing, right?
But
It's
it's
the
that
little
little
things.
thing. I'm like, okay, I can tell he's acting.
See, what about the thing with Kurt? Yeah, we just mentioned that too. The thing with Kurt Russell, 1980s.
brilliant.
She won me over.
Brilliant.
She had me at Kurt Russell.
Brilliant.
I gotta go see this. And then Brian says Shutter Island, another good one with DiCaprio.
Psychological
Like,
thrillers.
Amazing.
Love Me
That's
Deep,
another thing.
yeah.
Psychological thrillers.
Psychological
We
thriller
didn't-
is in
I
itself
mentioned it briefly, but we wouldn't actually delve into
Yeah,
it.
psychological.
Because I said like mirrors and things like that.
There you go.
Psychological.
Right.
very underrated part of horror.
What I think makes a good film is making the viewer uncomfortable. Yes, putting
Crawl in your
yourself
skin.
inside that.
Here's another one.
disbelief.
Like
Yep.
How
Yep.
often do we see children being the stars of the show victims?
Yeah, that's
You know,
what I'm
and
saying.
that's
Yeah.
what makes an
Yep.
audience uncomfortable because you're watching. I mean, Georgie's opening scene made a lot of people uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because the moment, I watched the original. All right, they don't show
You just
when
snatch down.
they don't show that. But then the fact that they showed him, and then what gets me the most is they panned down.
on it,
They
yeah.
tilted down on him
The bird's
as he
eye
was
view.
crawling.
Yeah,
The
and you see the
hand
And the
hand
hand
stretch.
slowly, and what makes it worse is it was slow. It was
Slow
like,
as
I'm gonna
hell,
get you.
yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
You're going nowhere.
And it's funny because he wasn't screaming. He was moaning. because he was still in
In
shock.
shock, yeah.
Oh,
The
He
adrenaline
couldn't
was
even
still there.
scream for his life.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And it was like one of
See,
those scenes that set this tone right there.
When you write that on paper and you start thinking about it, it's just like, oh my god, and it's like okay, what really makes horror maybe is the helplessness, the hopelessness. It's like, what if that was me? What would I do? I'd probably do that, or I'd probably just scream for my mom, And what makes it worse? Let's say you do scream for your mom and there's no one around to hear you.
The only witness was a cat.
Even worse.
The cat was in
And
there
what
like, whoop.
And what makes it worse? What makes it worse is that once you're gone, everything stays the same.
Yeah.
Nothing. The water doesn't stop running down. The cat doesn't stop being cat.
The
Everything
lady saw
stays
it.
the same, and that's what makes it so much more just horror.
It takes the preciousness out of children.
Yes.
Making these disposable victims. And that's a scary thought. Because you think kids are so innocent. They're precious. We got to protect them. These kids had no protection. They were in the danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exorcist.
Oh,
Absolutely. We missed
That's
that
an
one.
old
Completely
school
forgot
one,
about
too.
that.
Iconic
actually.
one.
That's a very iconic.
Out of the Justice League of Doom, we forgot all about that.
Right, and that in itself is a genre of possession.
She needs
demon
to be
possession.
right next to Pinhead.
Speaking of
spinning her head around.
And then this goes back to what I say when it affects you outside of the movie. How many of the actors?
The
actually
actor.
died.
I was to say that. Yep.
Yeah, the actors.
Yep.
A lot of the actors in that movie died.
And never had another job again, or got pigeonholed in that role.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
with that particular film, it's actually a really good example because people, when that movie came out, people were literally walking out of the theater because it felt like blasphemous. Like it was too much for people to handle during this time. So now, if that movie came out now, yeah, I'd probably get scared, but people are not gonna walk out the theater. Like, it wouldn't have gotten that kind of response. So it was timely. The Exorcist was of its time. The shocking edge of how far people would relate to go, especially with like demons and whatever and all that stuff. So
isn't it kind of unfortunate that now that we're just starting to get into this and we know better now? It's like, oh, that's just been done so many times. It's like we don't have the pioneers. I mean, the closest we got to that was The Conjuring.
Yeah.
To an extent. But even then, he just took things and made it better and used it in a way that was supposed to be used. It's kind of unfortunate, but
then you have films like Get Out and whatnot that tackle a different type of fear.
yeah, which I have yet to see.
Get
I
You
need
have
to
to
see.
see that.
I've seen
It's
clips. I've never seen the
unfortunate.
whole thing.
So I don't remember. It's so good. Oh my god!
It's
like
should make you uncomfortable.
it's an uncomfortable movie. Yeah,
And it's
Only
a
because
horror,
it touches. It's a horror movie that touches so in your face and yet subtlety, reality, racism.
Yeah, and it's
casual.
It's
Casual
so
racism.
it's
love it. I
casual
love it.
racism
I
at
love
its
it.
best. This is the type of movie that Dave Chappelle lives for.
Yeah.
yes,
Oh.
or even Killing People. It was like Kill
yeah,
Bill.
that's why I mentioned
there
it.
we go.
They're in the
There you
same
go.
vein.
Yeah.
So that's the next wave. The things that make people uncomfortable right now are those conversations.
Right.
People avoid it like the plague. You
Get
can't-
Out is so uncomfortable.
There's always going to be something that people are afraid to talk about, afraid
Look
to
at
address.
American Horror Story, the latest season.
Cold. It looks.
Give or take if you like it or not. I've been watching. I'm actually updated to it, and I enjoy it. It's pretty horrifying to what it was trying to be, and it's of course the politicalness of everything. Donald Trump,
The
and,
fear.
right? And it's really well orchestrated. So I mean,
I'll give it a shot.
I'm
'Cause
gonna
I
give it
saw
a
you kept
shot.
posting, and I was gonna watch, and I was like,
I'm
Now, mind
watching
you-
the previous season actually.
Which-
Roan New York, whatever. I think I saw what they were trying to do, but it was like they're making fun of those reenactment episodes on TV. Oh yeah, I had a ghost encounter, and they're kind of making fun of it, but the fear just wasn't there because they kept flipping the script. Oh, it's not really real. So, oh, but it is real. Oh, but it's not real. And it's just like, pick a lane and let me stay here. That's what that season's kind of like effing, and I feel like it's losing its steam.
now see, okay, we were saying, let's see, a scariest movie of all time that scared the hell out of me. The Exorcist, yes. I think anything demon related like Pinhead or Exorcist or Hell is scary. Absolutely, I agree. Haven't seen it. I guess we were talking about
Yeah.
season 2. If you're saying season 2 of American Horror Story, it's my favorite season.
Which
as well.
one is
that's
that
the
again?
Asylum actually.
Asylum.
Yeah, that's when they incorporated so many crossovers. The Nazi scientists, the angels, the demons, the wannabe
Even
psycho,
aliens.
Right.
the aliens. They covered so many, and I think that was the reason. It was one of my favorite.
That was the reason why I
seasons.
started watching the show. Then
Yeah.
I went back and watched season 1. And I got invested in the
Murder
show,
House was
and then
really
the
good.
Coven
Yeah.
came out, and that was
Nice.
by far the best.
I
season.
loved
It was
Coven.
tough.
The
I
Coven
liked
was
it.
It was.
so
It slowed down.
because it was
what
organized.
it was from season 2.
Where where
Structured.
one was a little messy, 2 was so much going on.
One was what we've seen many times. It was another Amityville horror. We've seen this. It was
Right.
simple. It worked and it delivered. That dude in spandex?
Was
No,
very
thank you.
terrifying, yeah.
No, thank
The
you.
Gimp?
Right.
Yeah,
and then
he was-
season 2 was this is a wet dream for me. This is all these. This is Cabin in the Woods for me again. Holy hell!
Right.
Season 3
So simple.
was amazing because it was about witches and magic. Who does not like magic? I'm
And
sorry.
I think my favorite was Freak Show. I liked Freak Show a lot.
I stopped watching until my favorite clown died. That was
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
I
Twisty.
stopped watching after that.
What a villain to bring up and then like, oh, I guess we're gonna die now.
He was so good. He's back in the cult,
Right, so I hear.
but it's just the mask, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
I figured that much. They're not like a copycat.
Yeah. But yeah. So coming back to the, like I said, bringing it back around circle. I know we like to go back and forth.
all over the place. But
Hey,
hey, we
listen.
got helpers this time.
Yeah, we have people keeping us
X
here.
Files.
I'm not an X-Files person.
Listen, X Files for its time was good. It was one of those shows.
I was too
That-
young, I think, to really understand it because I
Yeah.
did watch
For
a lot, but
real.
I had no clue what I was looking at.
You couldn't comprehend like
Same
what they were
here.
exploring.
But see, there were some things that whenever I decided to actually pay attention to it, it screwed me up in ways that to this day, I've never been the same person again. X Files would do that to you. But anyway, yeah. So again, horror movies. Again, I stand to what I said. Of course, we have different opinions running across the
course.
board. But I mean, please, no jump scares.
Oh, I have a
anymore.
question for you guys.
Yes.
Now I'm thinking about it. What was a gory scene that still affects you to this day? Like you still are just like, okay, this is like it gets you, like it gets you right there.
I think I'm maybe because I'm jumping really quickly at this because it's the first thing that came to my mind.
Right.
I thought of one.
And I might change it later on, but it's the hostel scene when they cut the guy's entire nuts off completely. Like you see everything. Like they cut it off and they take it and they just threw it to the dogs. And to me, that scene was just like, okay, I'm like 15. What? So it just screwed the hell out of me.
Hey,
It's
Dad.
that.
With the
I
Exorcist
see it.
thing. Yeah, I know Jose De Leon. I'm aware.
Hey, we see your name.
Yeah, we see
See your
you.
name.
I want to think a little hard on this, but my instant thought to this day, I know bothers the actual like mess out of me, was the cutting toes scene in American Horror Story Coven. And she's
Ooh,
up in the
oh,
her
wow.
slaves. Remember, she had the slaves, and she cuts his toes off one by one.
Yes.
No, thank you. I'm okay. I don't need
Or
that in my life.
How about this though?
yeah,
you guys,
yeah, exactly. Just thinking about that.
You guys
My
seen House
stomach
of
just turned over.
You guys seen House of Wax, right?
No.
I want to say I did. I honestly think
Well-
I did. Go ahead. Tell me the scene.
Okay, So in this premise, they take the real life people and they puts them in wax. They're still alive. They feel everything, but they cannot react. They can't move. So what they take like just an unsuspected group of people, teens, of course, that you don't really care for because that's what it was.
Exactly.
It was that
Disposable
it was
teens.
that gore type of phase around, And there was one scene where they lose part of the teen group. They go like on the ground and they find one of the teens. And he's like in a piano, I think it was. And the guy's like, "Oh my God, this looks just like Jester. Hey Jester, how you doing?" And he starts touching his face. And that's the guy. That's his friend. He's trapped in wax. He feels everything, but he can't move. You see his eyes still moving. And he's like, "Oh," and he starts to scratch his cheek. And then he starts to peel the skin. And then you see the actual meat. And you see the guy, but he can't say anything. And you see like the tear come down. But the guy his friend doesn't see the tear, and he's like, "Oh my God!" He starts scratching it,
Wow.
and it's just like, "Oh my God!" It hurts. It just hurts.
Okay, so when it
The
comes,
House of Wax. Yes, he knows.
he
Absolutely.
knows. So two scenes specifically. One from Hostel, because that was the first film.
Yes.
And the guy, he was like one of the first victims. I think he was like he got kind of just took away. And he sat in his chair, and he's crying and carrying on. First of all, great acting. Yeah. I think also had fantastic acting. The guy who's like, the shaking hands, who had the scalpel, right? He said, "Oh yeah, you're free to go." Goes behind, cuts the tendon.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And when he got up and that split open, I fell out of my chair. Like it was just too much. It was just, you could see the tendon stretching out.
I feel that.
I've never had like an injury, like, you know what I mean? First time I ever got sprained my ankle. Okay, that's like the worst thing I've ever had in my life. I couldn't possibly fathom that kind of, especially with such precision.
Wow.
That scene.
And it's a tendon, my man. Like,
And he's, "Oh yeah, you're free to go." So it's like
yeah, you can
walks
walk out.
and it just come crashing right down.
Oh God.
Achilles heel to the max.
Absolutely.
All right.
So the second scene was in Cabin Fever.
Ooh.
And there was a woman shaving her legs, and she was already infected.
Oh.
And when she started,
And she just kept peeling.
and she just kept, the skin was just peeling
so
off.
difficult to sit through.
Yes.
I saw that when I was maybe 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
That's
Yeah.
about
like
that age.
14.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, affects me 10 years later. I am still skeeved out by that scene. And it's one of those scenes that are going to be memorable forever. Cabin Fever in general.
It's a classic.
I'm
at this
gonna
point.
water this down because I'm feeling really sick right now. I'm gonna do an honorable mention. Misery, where she takes a sledgehammer and bashes his legs,
Wow.
breaks his legs. Yeah, I'm just throwing.
Yeah.
Woo!
Or let's put a more comedic tone. Freddy vs. Jason, when the guy was like, he grabbed the beer, he went over his bed, Jason was standing there, and he just starts stabbing him in his back like 25 times, and then he throws the machete onto the ground. You think he's done. You see the poor guy just shaking. He doesn't let go of the beer can, mind you. He's just shaking. And then you see Jason grab both ends of the fucking bed and just
And folds him. Yes, that was
legs
funny.
it.
Yes, that was very funny.
It was like OD. Like, it was over the top violence.
I never sleep face down because of that scene ever in my entire life. I just don't do it anymore.
What a strange thing. yo.
I'm learning about you that
I
you
do.
don't like
learning-
that movie way too much.
I do.
I think we're learning a lot about each other. We're talking about our fears right now. This has been a very enlightening conversation.
Oh yeah, but my fear is a little like because I'm just crazy. Come on, I'm afraid of fish, dolls, and mirrors.
It's so odd. Like, out of context, that's the weirdest thing ever.
I mean, you had me at fish. Okay. Mirrors and dolls, I can understand, but fish. Yeah, try to win a staring contact with a fish. It ain't gonna not happen.
No, those
Let's
freak
see.
me out.
The old Outer Limits,
Limits,
black and white. Yes, the Outer Limits.
The Outer Limits, what an old school one,
Yes,
too.
the Outer Limits screwed me in so many ways. It was like the most modern version of X-Files on Sci-Fi Channel, if you will.
Wow.
Yes, it was amazing.
Wow. Also, I'm trying to think. When it comes to those scenes, just like the gory aspect of it, once again, mine is very about disease and it's about mutilation. And that was very simple. Hostel was full of gross stuff.
How about,
I picked the most like chill one.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist
Ooh.
freaked me out because I had too many toys in my room. Yeah, that I was
You're looking at them
literally
like-
scared of Poltergeist because the first one to go was a little kid.
How about that? The mirror scene. Mirrors again. Mirror scene when he just kept
right.
peeling and
That's
peeling.
right. Thank you for bringing that back to me.
You're
I think
welcome.
I'm done.
We're all gonna need a
We're done.
therapist
All right,
after
we
this.
hit the mark. We're here with the hour. I'm done.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're totally done.
Yeah, I think we're past. Wow, we're having such
We
a good
started
time
15
here.
minutes late. That's
yeah,
why.
that's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're actually on the mic then. That's the case. All right. Matthew McConaughey here. Okay, so this is, word to the wise. This was a very impromptu session here, but we've had a great time.
Yes.
We thought it was fitting because it is October,
Yes.
and hopefully we can continue this on until the rest of the month.
Yeah,
definitely.
Walking
We're
Dead
definitely
next
keeping
week.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead next week.
All right, cool. I'll watch. I'm not into
You-
Walking
you-
Dead, but
you
I'll
check in-
watch.
you check in
I'll
and out.
watch
So
the episode.
You're
and we'll
familiar.
talk about
Honestly,
it.
you're familiar enough where you can still drop in a page.
You can
'cause
walk
You
in.
check in.
Yeah.
You've seen like what 5 episodes each season.
That's
Trust me,
enough.
I know.
Yeah,
I know
that's
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
You
It's
know how many
enough.
filler episodes? Come on.
Filler. It's
Oh.
like watching Bleach or Naruto.
Speaking of Walking Dead, the comic series is gonna be done soon. He
I
confirmed
heard,
it.
yeah.
He's just done with it. He's
I think it
gonna
was
finish.
it you? One of you? I think one of you might have been Miguel,
Oh,
but
wow.
somebody
Yeah,
told me
yeah.
that it's coming to an end. I
Yeah,
can't-
yeah.
You guys hear that the new X-Men movie is gonna have?
Yeah, the horror.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Actually,
I'm okay with it. I'm glad it's
happy with the fact
something
that they're
That Disney's
experimenting.
getting darker.
Yeah, they're experimenting with something
For
different.
real.
I'm
Yeah.
tired of Sunshine and Butterflies. Disney.
Yeah,
Like,
no
you've
more
gone darker
rainbows.
routes before when the world wasn't ready for it. When you did Hitler, you did Nazi Donald.
Yeah,
You can do Nazi
yeah,
Donald
yeah,
today, and
pretty
people are
much.
just gonna critique it like, oh, okay, I see where you were going with this.
Absolutely.
Like now's the time to do it. But yeah, let's
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for the feedback. Please give us more feedback, not only on the show, but outside the show on our Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram. We even have a Twitter. It's all there, guys. Please give us the feedback that's pretty much the whole point of this. We don't get feedback, it's no point in having the show.
Right.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you again for being with us.
Yes.
And shout outs, all shout outs across the room.
Oh, right. Shout out to Fortress of Solitude.
Wham.
Shout outs to Joker's Child, or places that we frequent to buy our
Yeah,
comic books
yeah.
at.
Midtown Comics and
Yeah,
New York
Midtown
City.
Comics as well.
Yeah.
That's me.
Let's see. Also,
Oh.
guys, for Marvel news, for Legacy, Wolverine, back theories. Yep. We got out of that's what I've heard. I haven't read it yet. Wolverine is back because of the whole Marvel Legacy. People are not really too big because they died. But see, Wolverine has been away for 3 years in his adamantium skull thingamajiggy. Well, he's coming back, and hopefully he's gonna get together with Old Man Logan, which is something extremely, extremely I'm hyped for. So yeah, if we have any moves on that, I'm gonna start reading it soon, and then we can actually, keep you guys updated on that.
Sure.
Keep you updated on, I guess there's a lot of things happening with Venom, Spider-Man, because of this whole legacy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, on the other side, on the DC side, of course, the whole Batman event, the Dark Days, Doom's Clock is coming around in November 22nd around this time. As the year comes to an end, it will have a lot more. It's gonna be nice and ripe soon.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter
Absolutely.
of just a matter of them actually getting to the actual print and stores and theaters, whatever it is, whatever medium it is. So yeah. So any shout outs?
Shout out to Villainy Games, Existential Villain Gnarly Marv helping us set up this room we got going on now.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the OTR podcast. Shout outs to the Real Ish Talkers. We got our boy Deshaun over here. I spent a whole Comic-Con day with him. He's great. You already shout out
Fortress.
Fortress.
Jokers,
Keep an eye out for Fortress. They're actually having a costume Halloween
Halloween
event on
party.
Tuesday. On Halloween, Tuesday. Halloween is on a Tuesday, which is really
It
awkward for me.
sucks.
Wait,
But,
is it gonna be on Saturday or Tuesday?
It's gonna be on both.
Tuesday. Oh,
He's
on
having
Saturday.
both. He
Oh,
wants to have
okay,
two
okay.
Halloween.
Because I saw the one on Saturday, which I'm going for.
It's the 28th and the 31st.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
because I
I'm
saw
going
the
for that.
31st.
Yep,
Yeah.
on 28th.
I'll be
one.
around. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
So
Sounds
check
good.
check that out.
Alright.
Be in costume, look good, make yourself good, make everybody else feel good. Make sure you scare a few people along the way.
Yeah.
Anything from your side?
It's not more of a shout out, but it's more of a hey, disclaimer. Watch out. Halloween is coming soon. I know a lot of people are not going to be celebrating it on Tuesday because work and stuff in school.
Same.
They're going to be celebrating on the weekend. For a reminder.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you
for the reminder.
guys.
Yeah, no
Send me a
problem.
reminder.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
We'll keep the Facebook updated.
Yeah,
and I'll
Facebook
message
and
people
Instagram should be
and-
going
and-
around. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I was saying, a lot of us are going to be celebrating Halloween on the weekend, usually Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah,
or even
usually-
Fridays.
yeah, the Friday and Saturday
Yeah.
before the Halloween. That's pretty much
Just
really.
be careful. I know kids are going to be around. It's are going to go around. Clowns. I mean, it's
People don't play
clown
too
hunting's
much.
gonna come back.
yeah.
I feel
It's not
clown
even the
hunting
whole
gonna come back.
clown thing, but I know this is something that happens every year. Just be careful.
Yeah.
Because-
be smart. Be safe.
Yeah. As years go by, things will get bolder. People will get bolder out there, and before
Yeah.
you know it, you can put in a candy and you're diarrheaing for weeks.
Yeah. People are really
things
messed up.
happen like that. As funny as it is, just be careful. Don't let anyone out of your sight, and yeah, just make sure you guys have fun and whatnot. So.
Yeah. Don't talk to clowns in sewers.
Please,
Don't
that's
talk
not.
to clowns and sewers.
No, let's not talk to clowns and sewers.
Unless they have popcorn.
That was so good.
nice. All right, guys. Well, this is the Darkened Hour where we talk about nothing but comics, films, and of course geek culture. So as the sun sets on this mortal world.
As usual, guys, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Leave us a comment on what you hear us talk about on the next video. This is Aesop the Alchemist.
Teal above.
And Joshua X No Heart.
And we'll be back to you guys next time.
Peace.
Cheers.